So today's price action on Nasdaq is this daily candle. We tapped into this daily fair value gap. So this daily inefficiency was where we made the low at and then rejected higher away from. 1 hour time frame. This is the opening range gap, regular trading hours view. Yesterday's opening range gap was about 770 pips. And then after we tapped into the daily inefficiency, I just showed you guys we made our way to close halfway into the gap and then almost the upper quadrant. And then I want you guys to be mindful of this 4 hour fair value gap low, which I'm showing you guys with this white line. Just prior to 9:30 a.m. opening, we tapped into it as initial draw on liquidity to then drop down into the daily inefficiency I just showed you guys. And the 1 hour time frame, this 1 hour fair value gap is salient in the sense that we tapped into it after kind of towards the PM session or just a little bit before, using it as support to push price higher. But 15-minute time frame, blue box is the first presented fair value gap for yesterday and Monday. So Sell-side liquidity was taken for the London Essentials low today and yesterday's Asian session, tapping into yesterday's first presented fair value gap, and then also the daily inefficiency with these two white lines. And then 15-minute time frame, this is what it looks like. It's pretty straightforward. Sell side was grabbed, daily inefficiency was tapped with these two white lines, and then we proceeded to take out the buy side right there. And there's a 15-minute fair value gap right there, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 candles on the 15-minute time frame were essentially just kind of sideways price action. And then we tapped into the low, went below those candles, and then dipping into the 1 hour fair value gap right there, which is what we see here for institutional order flow entry drill, expansion up higher. There's another fair value gap right here, which we just teased yesterday's opening range gap, consequent encroachment right there. Nonetheless, 5-minute time frame, sell side was grabbed, daily inefficiency with these two white lines, first presented fair value gap right there, expansion up higher. And then I want you guys to be mindful of this 5-minute fair value gap. It's really important for price later on the 1-minute time frame, which I'm going to get into guys in a moment. But before I do that, again, this is the 1 hour inefficiency right there. So prior to 9:30 a.m. opening, we tapped into the 1 hour inefficiency, leaving a 5-minute SIBI, and then we tapped at 9:30 a.m. opening into the lower quadrant of yesterday's opening range gap with this orange dotted line. And also as well into the 5-minute SIBI, displacing, taking out the sell side, tapping into yesterday's first presented fair value gap with this blue box, and the daily inefficiency with the white lines. Coming up, 5-minute fair value gap, inversion fair value gap is just going to be important for the 1-minute price action. So we came up, taking out the buy side. This is the 15-minute, these candles right here on the 5-minute time frame right there. Take out the sell side and expand higher. And then on the 5 minutes, 5-minute time frame continued. So what it looks like is pretty straightforward. Okay. And then on the 3-minute time frame, I want you guys to be mindful of this 3-minute fair value gap, institutional order flow entry drill on the lower quadrant of yesterday's opening range gap to push price higher. And then going down into the 1-minute time frame, just going to show you guys here that there's a 1-minute SIBI right there. Okay. And then this is the lower quadrant of yesterday's opening range gap. Come into it, reject away, take out the sell side, leave a 1-minute SIBI. This becomes your today's first presented fair value gap right there. Model 2022 on ICT's YouTube. It's one of my personal trading models. So today's first presented fair value gap, institutional order flow integral displacement, leaving another fair value gap. And then I want you guys to be mindful of this 5-minute fair value gap that I was showing you guys right there. So this 5-minute fair value gap is this right here on price into this 1-minute SIBI, tapping into the 5-minute fair value gap, also in line with the 1-minute SIBI displacing. And then we tapped into the daily inefficiency. So again, this daily inefficiency right there, we tapped into it after we tapped into the fair value gap right there, making our way down, tapped into the daily inefficiency, come up, and then essentially we just kind of leave a 1-minute BISI right there, also in line with the 5-minute fair value gap that I've been showing you guys right there. Okay, 5-minute fair value gap, 1-minute institutional order flow entry drill right there, in line with the 5-minute fair value gap, and then also in line with yesterday's first presented fair value gap expansion up higher. Keep in mind this 3 minutes BISI institutional order flow entry drill at yesterday's first presented fair value gap. We had that here, the tap into there, and then we push price higher. There's also a 1-minute fair value gap right there, push price higher for institutional order flow entry drill. Also, this white shaded box is this 1 hour fair value gap right there. And then essentially we're kind of dancing around it. The 50% of that 1 hour fair value gap is what is being respected right here with the bodies. Okay. Expansion up higher. This is the 15-minute and 5-minute sideways price action where we took out the sell side right there with this candle. If you guys can see that, but oh, it was this candle. Took out the sell side right there. And then we dipped into the 1 minute or the 1 hour fair value gap again using our support, leaving a, in this case, you can have this, this is an inversion fair value gap. We have it marked up and look at how the body's respected the 50% of this 1 minute inversion fair value gap, also in line with this 1 minute fair value gap right there. Okay, and then we expand higher. There's a 1 minute institutional order flow entry drill right there, making our way up to, you know, the 50% of the yesterday's opening range gap. And then we went up higher for the final thing I want to show you guys is this 1 hour institutional order flow entry drill right there, where we have price dip below these lows. Okay. And then we came up and then we have ourselves a volume balance right there. So keep in mind, again, another inversion fair value gap right there. Okay. Inversion fair value gap coming into it. Expansion up higher, 1 minute volume balance. And then we have another 1 minute institutional order flow entry drill in line with, I believe, no. I was going to say it's in line with this fair value gap, but no, it doesn't need to be, but it's also actually in line with this 1 minute volume imbalance. Boom. Okay. And then we pushed price higher. And then we kind of had the rest of the trading day here, which we teased just yesterday's upper quadrant of the opening range gap. And I wouldn't be surprised if this was some sort of inefficiency that we tapped into, which it is. So here's a 1 hour fair value gap right there. Okay. So when we tapped into that 1 hour fair value gap right there is essentially kind of reason why we had price kind of provide these moves right here. And then, boom, quick little scalp to end the day. I didn't take that, but that's kind of the move that exists. But I kind of wanted to just see if there's anything I could point out on the fly. I didn't really plan this part right here, but I'm seeing something here. 1 minute inversion fair value gap right there, in line with the 3 minute institutional flow entry drill right there. Okay, and then I spit it looks like that. And then spend some time in the 1 minute time frame to see what we can find. I'm doing this on the fly, of course. So I think that should be it. I mean, there's not really much else to it. What I would probably consider doing is drawing this inversion fair value gap out in time. We see that price respected it. If you really want to get more technical, you can have this, maybe this inversion fair value gap, draw it out in time, or this one, draw these out in time, probably this one, draw that out in time because it becomes a balanced price range, right, like that. And then we see price respect it, and then, we go higher and so on and so forth. And there's another institutional order flow entry drill right there. Okay. Boom. All right, that's it. Cheers.